Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this incredible experience that you have decided to take. Yes, your energy brought you to this video. Your energy brought you to this space to discuss healing in a different way. So, what I want to talk about today is can you see yourself as healed? This is very powerful because most of the time, let's go to the other side of the coin. Most of the time, we think about our dis-ease state. And that becomes perpetual in our mind over and over and over again. And it becomes predominantly what we think about all the time. And as we know now, what we think becomes a reality. So, what we think gets ingrained within our subconscious mind, which is the creator of everything we have in our existence. So, if we're looking at wanting to heal, we may want it really bad. We may say at some point, I want to heal. I want to get past this. I don't want this. I freaking hate this dis-ease. You may say that. You may be trying to repel it at every level consciously. But what happens is subconsciously, we are holding on to the dis-ease. Now take a breath. You might be thinking right now, Matt, you are freaking crazy. How can I be holding on to this dis-ease? I hate it so much. I don't want it. But what happens is when we notice a symptom within us, we think about the dis-ease, which is we're putting energy towards the dis-ease. And the universe, since it is always saying yes to us, if we're putting energy towards the dis-ease with resistance, anger, shame, guilt, frustration, then we bring that dis-ease closer to us at a subconscious level. And subconsciously, these thoughts are running through our mind 93% of the time in the subconscious. So we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to become aware of where we're feeding the dis-ease. And what I want to recommend at this time is don't push away from it. If you're pushing away from it, you are resisting it. And what we know is what you resist persists in your life. So if we're constantly pushing away from the dis-ease, then we are resisting it. Then we are making it stronger within us. And then we have more symptoms that show up, and it becomes this perpetual cycle over and over and over again. Kind of seems like a sick washing machine that we're stuck in. But we have an opportunity, like I said earlier. We have an opportunity to become aware of it. When you become aware of feeding the dis-ease, and this may show up as frustration in your walking, frustration towards pain, not feeling good, anger, any one of those fear-based emotions, which is anger, shame, guilt, depression, frustration, any one of those incoherent emotions feed the dis-ease. So we have an opportunity to stop feeding the dis-ease state by becoming aware. So if we become aware of where we're feeding it, you would naturally, at a conscious level, stop, because you are love. You are an incredible being of light and love. That's why when you feel good, you gravitate towards it. It feels good to be in that state. So if you're noticing that you're feeding the disease and you're aware of it, then at that moment, you could say, no, that is not me. And you're telling your subconscious mind, which has to follow your conscious mind. You've started the training process of your subconscious mind. So the next step with that is to take a breath. Take a breath, slow yourself down, and begin seeing yourself as healed, even if it's small. Start very small. Start this progression of 1%. We don't need to make huge leaps. But in order for us to make a quantum leap towards our ability to heal, We have to take small steps that lead us on this path that leads us to start retraining the subconscious mind. Because at some level, the dis-ease is serving us to a degree. The dis-ease is serving us to a point of either we're getting paid attention to, or we're getting help that we've always wanted, or we don't have to work anymore, or we don't have to do that. And it seems crazy that our mind goes that way. Remember, the subconscious mind doesn't make conscious sense with it. It is just saying yes. It's just always delivering a yes. So we have an opportunity to begin changing the subconscious mind and use that to our advantage. And we use that to our advantage by training it. And what I want to invite you to do is begin training the conscious mind with seeing yourself as healed. And when you see yourself as healed, what are you doing? Who, and more importantly, who are you being? So, for example, if you're like right now in this moment, you can pull out a piece of paper and just write down, who would I be, being the most important word in that statement. Who would I be now that I am healed? And write that down on your piece of paper and reflect on it. Sit for a minute, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and see yourself as healed. Are you joyful? Are you kind? Do you have patience? Are you compassionate towards yourself? Do you forgive others? And more importantly, do you forgive yourself? Because in that space right there, like all the great teachers that have taught us for all of these years, forgiveness, surrender, opening, accepting, accepting the disease for what is. It just is. But for us to get past it is to stop feeding it. And we feed it through negative emotions, through stress within our life. Now, this might be very difficult to think of or to actually walk through in this moment, but it is not impossible. You have control. You have this power deeply within you. You are enough. You are an amazing beacon of light and love. And so when you start imagining yourself as healed, you are slowly feeding your subconscious mind to enter into a state of healing. When you look at this from the quantum body side of it, you are actually attracting the quantum field of you as healed in this moment, right now. So, what I want to encourage you today, become aware of where you are feeding the dis-ease with anger, fear, frustration, guilt, shame, whatever it is. If you're feeding the dis-ease, you have an opportunity to stop it in this moment right now and take a breath and just make a quick switch and begin feeding the other side of it. And if you fed that other side of it, if you fed the other side with your healing 5 minutes a day, and let it grow if it wants to grow. But if you fed it for 5 minutes a day, your life would be transformed. Your life would make a whole different step in a different direction. So I love you very much. Thank you so much for watching me. Thank you for being a part of this. You are amazing. And I'm so in awe of you. Thank you. And we'll see you soon.